Good evening, everybody. This is Tom. It is Thursday night, 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 Central, 7 Pacific. And we are here bringing you an SSFA quarterfinal playoff game. And it should be a good one. Those are usually good matchups. And it is the commissioner and multiple championship winner Ed Burrow at 10-5-1 with his San Francisco 49ers led by Kirk Cousins, traveling to Kansas City to take on Dan Morin and his Kansas City Chiefs 11-4-1 led by Aaron Rodgers. This is not your typical Aaron Rodgers. It did not have the greatest statistical year in 2015 and was still on the 2015 card set. But Dan got him to do what he needed to do and got to an 11-4-1 record. We're just about to kick off. There will be a bit of a contrast in styles here. As I looked at the two teams a little bit. Now, they played in the regular season. You may have noticed each team has a tie, and that was against each other. It was 23-23 way back in week 3, also in Kansas City. Now, the home field advantage here means that Dan will use the good team defense pass cards, while Ed is stuck on average. So it's average for Ed, averaging good for Dan. They both play the 3-4. Ed looks like he likes to stand around a little more, although this Kansas City pass block is not the best. Dan's got some good pass rush and not as strong of a secondary, I think. And he likes to blitz. He had over 40 sacks in the regular season. Going off of memory, surprisingly, Tim Hightower was the leading rusher for Ed over Carlos Hyde, even. Almost 1,000 yards for Hightower, where Jeremy Hill's surprisingly good card did unsurprisingly have a good season for Dan. I turned off my sound here. That's no good. On one of the things I normally use. The game sounds. I like to use the game sounds. And we're underway. That kickoff was down to the 1 and brought back 20 yards by Keith Mumphrey. And it is the commissioner, Ed Burrow, will be out on offense first. Kirk Cousins is the quarterback. 2 tight end, 2 wide receiver, 1 running back formation. Delaney Walker and Anthony Fasano, your tight ends. Michael Floyd and Steve Smith, the receivers. Hightower, the running back. Ed likes to run the ball. Alex Mack is a center 6. Ed's got 5s on the left side of the line. A 5 at tight end. The other guys are 0s and a 4. You see that 3-4 defense for Dan Morin goes 4-5-5. Linebacker has a 4-5-4-0 against the pass. 4s in the secondary accepted strong safety. Cousins is good short pass. Ed does not have as good. No, he does. He's got 2 7s pass blocking. Here's a flat pass left to Delaney Walker as the defense double teams down the field. Walker covered by that strong safety 5. Has a very good flat pass card. And a 6 of the white die is a short gain. That's a 15-yard pickup from Cousins to Delaney Walker. First down, Niners. So San Francisco 49ers to the Kansas City Chiefs. There's other games going on. There's a game in progress, New Orleans, Washington, which is a really good game. I watched the first half of that and the early part of the third quarter. Off tackle left to Tim Hightower. 1 linebacker there, defense calling pass. You can see that's a 3-yard gain on 8, so good positioning of the linebacker by Dan to prevent further damage. It's got Bilal Powell on this team. And Tim Hightower leads the team in rushing. But that's, I'm not sure if Hightower has a better card. I certainly don't think he has a better card than Hightower, but he has a card that people aren't usually going to get run against too often. And maybe that's part of what Ed is thinking. Certainly, Dan is more concerned about the pass. He calls pass again. Double teams down the field again. Linebacker to Hightower, only 1 guy there. Dreaded 5, guess wrong, is no gain. 3rd and 7 for the commish at his own 39. I called a game this morning between Dennis Crowley's Seattle Seahawks and Lawrence Green's Chicago Bears. Also, this is all SSFA quarterfinal action. 3 games in one day on a Thursday night. after we had all the Samsa games last Sunday. So a lot of good stuff here. Michael Reeves and Dennis Crowley calling the other game. We're not going to go for the three-man booth, I hope. Flat pass right to Delaney Walker. There's a linebacker 5 there. Defense double teams elsewhere down the field. They're looking for a receiver, a white die 6. Gets the white die 6. It's a first down to Walker for 7 yards on the 4. Kirk Cousins completed a very high percentage of his passes in the NFL season that year. I think close to 70%. We haven't actually seen his card yet. It's been dump-offs and the defense's card with no man on the flat pass. I'd like to get a look and see if he's maxed out flat pass. Long pass Malcolm Floyd. There's a man there. No blitz on. It's only a 4 free safety and a 4 on Floyd. It's Malcolm Floyd, not Michael Floyd. The net has receiver gets right is incomplete. Floyd's a 12-18. No, he's maxed. 6, 9, 11, 12, 15, 21. So you got to keep your eye on that. Ed will probably shrewdly not throw too many other types of passes to Floyd because he knows that Dan will be watching him down the field. That's a problem for Dan. He had corner 4s on Steve Smith and Malcolm Floyd, and Cousins can throw on all levels. I like to say, I don't know if Carlos Hyde, long pass Steve Smith, nobody there is coming by 4. No blitzes on either as Dan's trying to cover the flats, and there's a dump off for 9 yards, and there'll be 3rd down and 1. Ed working his way upfield and now across the 50. And I wouldn't be surprised if that New Orleans-Washington game ends probably about the time we're getting early into the second quarter here. You may see an influx in the studio audience, although it will be late on the East Coast for those types of guys. There's about 6 people watching the other game. Of course, 3 of them were Michael, Dennis, and me, but the others there, Jay and Tony were watching. Ed was watching that game. We've got a 3rd and 1. Here's Carlos Hyde checking in for the first time as halfback. Dan in his 3-4 defense, flat pass right to Lenny Walker. Dan again double teaming down the field. He does have 2 blitzes up on the line of scrimmage now, but the commissioner's got some good pass blocking. There's a 6 on the defense, 10 yards in the first down. So we've seen a heavy flat pass attack from Ed while Dan's trying to defend against those 4, defend against those receivers who are covered by 4 running backs. And there's someone joining us. My sound immediately goes way down when someone joins for some reason. I don't know why. But there's Tony. Hello, Tony. How you doing? And there's a 2-yard gain for Spencer Hightower. Is there a Spencer Hightower? Maybe like a basketball player in the ABA? But anyway, 2-yard gain for Hightower. Police Academy, I think the guy's name was Hightower, but the Bubba Smith character. Spencer Long could not make the block. 2nd and 8. This is the opening drive of the game. Linebacker to Tim Hightower. No linebackers there. A double boxing play. And there it is. 8 double box, 19-yard gain. Now, I know Dan likes to play a bend but don't break style at times. Well, he does both. He blitz you heavily, or sometimes he'll play bend but don't break. So I was thinking about keeping you out of the end zone, which I think is really important and something guys need to do more. Where are my touchdowns going to come from, and where are his touchdowns going to come from? How do I stop him from getting his touchdowns or reduce that chance? And here Dan's showing blitz. 1st and 10 for the commissioner at the Kansas City 14. Some kind of draw play. Sometimes these blitzing linebackers are good against the run. Looking past to Tim Hightower. There's one linebacker there. He's a 5. Defense calls pass. Does not blitz. Instead of 4 short. Receiver gets right. Is 10 yards for Hightower. I mean, that's part of why he's in there. Although not the best receiving card I've ever seen. A lot of incompletions on a flat pass right. But now you have a 1st and goal from the 4 for the commish. He goes full house. Bilal Powell, Carlos Hyde, and Fasano are in the backfield as Hightower takes his seat after doing a good job in this drive. Dan shows blitz. As inside linebacker only 4s against the run. I bet you dollars to donuts Ed does a linebacker because he's going 6'5" with his interior line. And Powell and Hyde, both Powell particularly, are good on right. You can even run with a cousin if you want to avoid a key. And those linebackers are only 4s. So you got a good chance here. No, but no. Play action, short pass to Stephon Diggs. Defense calling run. Diggs is covered by 4. Diggs is not even in the game normally. Receiver gets wrong. It's a touchdown. 4 yards to Stefan, who's got a nice short pass, wrong card. And it's 6-0 Commissioner, just like that, on the opening possession. Neither of these teams had a tremendous point differential in the regular season, so you could see a close, tight game. It's Caleb Sturgis on for the extra point. He's 2-11, and it's up and good. And it's 7-0 Ed. 8:42 to go in the first. And Dan Moran's Chiefs will get ready to receive. Bobby Rainey is back. Not a really good, very good return game for Kansas City this year. The rest of the special teams are pretty good. The coverage units are very strong. Rainey returns it 17 yards out to his own 17. He's not bad, but two's only 38 yards. The field goal kicking from the 22 and in is good. After that, 23-32, a little shaky. The coverage was excellent, though, for Dan. And here comes this Kansas City offense with Aaron Rodgers. Dan will look forward to next year's card, which will be much better. Jeremy Hill, the running back, his card should be much worse next year. The thrills and chills did not speak favorably about him. Mercedes Lewis and Cameron Brate are your tight ends left to right. Amari Cooper, the rookie, and Anquan Boulder, the veteran, are your receivers. Flat pass left up Mercedes Lewis. Defense calls run. Receiver gets wrong. 10 yards on the first down to Lewis. I drafted him many years ago in Tamifa as a rookie. I held him for a long time. Eventually traded to Tim Bollier a year or two ago. So now you see, even though Rod says the 4 and 5 incomplete, the flat pass is so strong in this rule set with the white die 6 that you can't just ignore it, and you can still do good things with a flat pass. Off tackle left to Jeremy Hill. Defense guessing pass with a double-double. Hill's got short gains with that card, 6 and 7, I think, somehow, something like that. And I don't know, we might be out of sync here because normally, no, we're not out of sync. It's only a 3 and 7 short gain. It's not that crazy. But it's a 1 yard gain for Hill, who had nearly 1,400 yards rushing for Dan. With a card that made everyone scratch their head and say, why does this guy have such a good card? Did not have that great of a year. But we'll see what happens. I read an article that he will be keeping his lead back role in the Cincinnati offense. We'll see. Dan would certainly like to see that. 2nd down and 9 for the Chiefs. They're at their own 28. It's their first possession. And run left, Jeremy Hill. This time Ed calls run. He's got a 5 defensive end there. 4 guess right is +3. Even a good guess right card for Jeremy. And it's a 3rd down and 6 for Kansas City at their own 31. Dan's pass blocking not as good as you'd expect. Left tackle Sharon Armstrong's a 7, but the rest of them a mix of 4 and 5s, and there's a 3 running around in there. Brian Balaga, the right tackle, I think has to cover Muhammad Wilkerson. No, Cameron Hayward, he blocks, not covers. 3 wide, 1 halfback. Randall Cobb, your 3rd receiver, covered by a 4. Ed's got 6 and 5s on the outside otherwise. Nickel 3-3-5. Ed goes 6-5-4 linebacker. He's got fewer things to worry about than Dan does, but still a bit to worry about here. Dan can try to safely maybe throw the Boulder to Cooper. Aaron Rodgers' must run is coming huge on any of these short or long passes. Gets right. He's got a tremendous must run card. He's got 8 units of it. Flat pass left to Jeremy Hill. There's a 4 there. Defense double teaming elsewhere. So there'll be no must run here. This might be harder to pull off. Receiver gets right is incomplete. And it's 4th and 6 for the Chiefs. They'll punt on their first possession after gaining 1 first down. I wonder if anyone's watching both games at once. I wonder if multiple hangouts are possible. Tim Mastay to punt. It's a 53-yarder down inside the 20 to Keith Mumphrey. Nothing special, I think, on his card either. Unless maybe 2 is a touchdown, but you know what I mean. It's a 1 yard return. There's a +1, +2, +3 on Dan's opponent punt coverage, and 2 is only 20 yards on Mumphrey, although 6 is +11, but not a particularly good card, so don't get too excited looking for a big return tonight when these teams are punting to each other. And we're right to Hightower. Defense calls pass. That's a left end 4 over there. That's got a tight end 5. Snake Eyes is 2 yards. This is where Hightower lets you down. See the short gain on 3, short gain on 7. But 2, 11, and 12, there's nothing going on the edges. That'd be a much stronger card if you had some decent runs in there. 21 yards or something. So the +2, 0, and +1, he goes wrong. But hey, it's worked for the commish. And he's 10-5-1. And he's got the lead late in the first. 7-0 Ed. Second down and 8. Both teams going two tights. Linebacker Tim Hightower. Defense calls run. Has got a lineman up in there. But 8 on the defense is 5 yards. You hate as a defensive coach when the other team gets that 8 on these draft league team defensive cards. It's always good yards unless you have 2 guys in there pretty much. So it'll be a big 3rd and 3 now for the commissioner. It looks like Bilal Powell might be checking in. I'm going to guess that Powell's unlimited in the second half. For the 3rd down, he can still play here in the first. And he's gone. It's Tim Hightower is still in there. There was a computer default formation tricking me. Will Dan call run on 3rd and 3 against Tim Hightower? And thinks he won't. Will Ed run it? Maybe I'll throw a short pass. Steve Smith. Tough to double only one guy and leave the other guy alone against a 4. Long pass, Steve Smith. There's a man there. 3 blitzes on. Dan's got good pass rush. Ed's got pretty good pass blocking. Defensive back in zone next to plus 28. He's only a 4. 4 on a 4. Corey Graham makes the play. A big deflection by Corey Graham on 3rd and 3. Would have been a 28-yard gain. He's only a 4. And then Ed has to punt it from his own 24. Matt Bosher comes out. I think he has a block on 12, but I'm not certain. He does, but this one is off for 49 yards, down to about the 27. And Bobby Rainey, a beloved here in Kansas City, fumbles the ball. He's not beloved after that, but the Chiefs recover it. And will they try to advance? It is the rookie defensive back, Kevin Johnson, fell on the ball. Bobby Rainey fumbling, stumbling. 2 is plus 58 for Rainey. 7, 8, and 12 is good. And 9 plus 14, 10 plus 8. So actually, Dan does have a pretty good punt returner there. So I misspoke earlier. Or I was wrong earlier. Linebacker Jeremy Hill. Nobody there. Defense calls run. 7 on the defense's card is a 7-yard gain. Makes it 2nd down and 3. I'm looking at box scores when I'm trying to bring up what he has done today. 3 carries, 11 yards for Hill. I'm ready for football season. 2 months to go. Short pass of Amari Cooper being double-teamed. 1 inside linebacker on the line of scrimmage. And there's a long delay here. I keep thinking we're out of sync when that happens, but there's a receiver reading. Double-teamed is incomplete. Cooper should have double-team completions next year. I think the Thrills and Chills said that he does. And that would have been a 14-yard gain, guessed right. I think Amari is a 1926 guy. Yeah, and probably 12-18 deep on this rookie card. 3rd and 3 for the Chiefs at their own 33. Aaron Rodgers 1 for 3. 1 of 3. For 10 yards. 1 for 3 is more of a baseball thing, right? Short pass to Amari Cooper. There's 3 men there. Single coverage with a 5. 2 linebackers up against the linebacker. Rodgers threads the needle on a 7. That's an 11-yard gain for a 1st down for Kansas City. Up at their own 44. 6, 10, 13, 14. Short pass right completions for completion for Rodgers with 6 must runs. And those are very good must runs. So short pass can be very dangerous. And the long pass as well. As long as Ed's not blitzing too heavily. And Ed doesn't really pursue the sack too often. So, short pass of Amari Cooper being double-teamed by linebacker Sean Lee. Dan may have to go back to the flat passing to loosen that up a little bit. Receiver gets right is incomplete. 2nd down and 10. Ed, one of the very best defensive coaches you're going to come across. He always seems to just shut people down, even when he doesn't have the best personnel. That seems to be his forte. Second and 10, Kansas City at their own 44. They do have, good interior blocking a little bit with the center 6, the right guard 5. Ball pass to Amari Cooper. Defense calls run. The free safety is only a 4. Long getting Aaron Rodgers card. Big completion to Cooper. 43 yards down to the 13-yard line. Aaron Rodgers, 1, 4, 8, 11, 12. Long pass, wrong completions. And the receiver unit's thrown in there. And Ed looking for the run on 2nd and long, which we all know that's the old Strat standby, right? 2nd and 10, I'll run it. Try to pop a short gain or what have you. And Dan expected that through the bomb. 43-yarder. You can throw more bombs at Rodgers because of the must runs. Guess right. Not as many as Russell Wilson or someone like that, but still. And Ed's only got the average cards, and he's got a 4 back there. So you can take some shots deep. Now the commissioner shows blitz. Flat pass left, ankle bolted, 2-men in zone. The defense calls run. And the 2-men in zone pays off as it's incomplete on the defense's card. And it'll be a 2nd and 10 for the Chiefs. They really want this touchdown to tie the game. Where is it going to come from? That's what Dan's got to be thinking. 5-5-5 on the defensive line for the commissioner. Ed showing blitz. Jeremy Hill in the backfield. As we're joined by others. Jay's with us. Tony was with us earlier. Dennis is there now. Bad news for somebody in that Saints game. And run left for Jeremy Hill. Defense guessing pass. The tight end's a 4. The defensive end's a 5. An 8 on the defense would bring him down to the 1-yard line. Dreaded 5. 7-8 short gain on wrong, but the dreaded 5, no gain on 2nd and 10. Dan doesn't like that. You can picture him waving his clipboard in frustration. Come on. 3rd and 10 Chiefs. Down to 54 seconds left in the first half. They trail 7-0. They're at the San Francisco 13. They go 3 wide with 1 halfback, keeping the off tackle and linebacker and even and run, I suppose, options open by not going shotgun and not showing any blitz. Well, actually, the defensive formation now being shown. Ed is showing blitz. I think Hill's a 4. Yes, Jeremy Hill's a 0-4. It's got a 7 at left end, a 5 at right end, a 1 at nose tackle. It doesn't even have Muhammad Wilkerson. It must be on his full team. Short pass, Anquan Bolden. The free city blitz is on. Bolden covered by a 6. And 8 on Rodgers' card is incomplete, right in between all the goodness. 7, 9, and 10 would have been your first down, and on a 9, a touchdown. And it'll be Brandon McManus, not Tim McManus, the character from Oz, because he's fictional. Brandon McManus for the 30-yard field goal attempt. And it's no good on 11. 2 to 10 was good. Dan had 33 out of 36 to get some points on the board. Normal game situation, 7-3, and he comes away empty-handed. Oh, that's got to be upsetting. And now he's got to regroup and play some defense, but you feel not good, karma-wise. Everyone knows Ed's reputation and trying to beat him. And everything's right there. Should be a normal situation, 7-3, and you missed a 2 to 10 field goal. Looking past to Delaney Walker. Defense gets his run. Completed Cousins' card for 10 yards, and he is indeed maxed on the flat pass wrong. Even the interception split yielding 2 yards on a 3 through 12. And guess right, 2 is the only incompletion and the interception split. So you can see where Ed would want to throw flat. He did a lot of that in the first drive. Flat pass left to Tim Hightower. The blitz is on. Hightower uncovered. Not the best receiver, but he's got yardage. 6 of the defense's call with no men is a 10-yard gain. It was a 7 on a 15, 1-28 sack. But Sebastian Vollmer was able to stop Chandler Jones from getting too much penetration. And it's 1st and 10 Niners up at their own 40. Dan's in a bit of a damned if he doesn't situation. He's doubled down the field because he's got corner 4s. He's blitzed. He tried to flood flats. Flat pass left to Delaney Walker. 3 in a row. That's a linebacker 6, I think, or a 0. And it's picked off. Walker's double teamed correctly by Graham. The flat pass intercepted the San Francisco 41. There could be a touchdown. 8 out of 36. 2, 3, 9, and 12. Come on. Someone click something. And it's no gain. Roll to 7. Corey Graham. The flat pass double team. Dan being aggressive, trying to find something to do to stop Ed. And he's rewarded with the clean interception on the defense's card because of 2 men in zone. Linebook Jeremy Hill. Defense calls run, but the double box is in play as he slid the guy out. The inside linebacker out. 10 to 3-yard gain for Hill. He's got 5 carries, 14 yards. 2nd and 7, early second quarter. Here's Dan's chance to overcome the missed field goal. Come down and get some more points to make up for those ones that he left on the table when he rolled at 11, I think it was, on the 2-10 field goal attempt for Brandon McManus. 2nd down and 7. Cameron Brates, your tight end to the right, covered by 4. Both tight ends covered by 4s. Long pass to Brate, but defense double teaming. Rashad Jones, dump off in play, and there it is, 7 yards and a first down from Rogers to Anquan Bolden, the veteran, who broke off his route underneath. 1st and 10 Chiefs at the San Francisco 31. A lot of momentum going Dan's way right now. Rogers 4 of 9 for 71 yards at the big bomb to Amari Cooper. That set up that field goal attempt just a few minutes ago. Flat pass left to Cameron Brate, being double teamed again by Ed. Can he turn the tables with a pick? Does not. 5 is intercepted. Right, wrong, and 5 is incomplete, rather. Right, wrong, and double teamed on Rogers. That will not be the case next year. Well, maybe it'll be 5 only, but I mean, you want to have 4 and 5 incomplete. It'll be much better on flat pass than he is on this card. Still a very workable card, though. I think around 11 or 12 in my rankings, and then had him similarly. Off tackle right to Jeremy Hill, 1 linebacker there. Defense calls pass. 4 is a 6-yard gain. Nice strong pickup there for Hill. Setting Dan up for 3rd and 4 now. McManus is only 2 to 7 or 2 to 8 out here. Here. I don't want to miss the play. Two to 7 and 12 out here. If you don't get enough variable yardage in your favor. 3rd and 4. Ed's going to go with his standard 3-4. Ed's got a 0 inside linebacker. A 0-4. So 0 against the pass. Linebacker Jeremy Hill, both linebackers there. Dan still has good blocking and he needs 4 yards. Linebacker left part of zone, -1 and +3. And it's a veteran, Navarro Bowman, 6 on a 6, makes the play. 4th and 5. He can't even go for it as easily because of the linebacker containment. And McManus will be out for a 43-yard attempt. He's only 2 to 7 and 12. And it's no good on a 9. Oh, McManus. As the Chief fans boo lustily. Dan is still not on the scoreboard. And the commissioner takes over from his own 33. Dan's done a nice job with this SSFA team. He may have to work on his field goal kicking scouting. I think that was in the fall that he had the bad kicker and punter. But you can't have everything. So, as he will tell you, First and 10 for the Niners, their own 33. Short pass, Malcolm Floyd, double teamed by the linebacker. And down goes Cousins, sacked by Kenneth Acker, the defensive back coming in. It was Kawan Short collapsing the pocket from the inside, bringing the pressure up the middle. And Cousins tried to get away. And Kenneth Acker blitzing off the outside, I suppose, although he really wasn't. But, hey, it's a strat chart. What do you want me to say? 2nd down and 13, only a 3-yard sack. Linebacker draw to Hightower, double box in play. That nose tackle's a 5. Dan goes 4-5-5. Right guard 7 and 2. Spencer Long can't make the block. He's only a 4. It'll be 3rd and 11 for Ed at his own 32. Very close, tight game. Dan really wants to stop right here after what's happened. And he shows blitz. And dollars to donuts, he's going to bring somebody. A safety and at least one linebacker. Whitney Merciless is a good candidate. He brings everybody. Long pass, Stephon Diggs. The blitz is on. Diggs is covered by 0. If it can get picked up on the defense's card, Ed could be in good shape here. And receiver on the defense's card is incomplete. 9 units of completion only for Diggs. You had 5, 9, 11, 12, 18 units of clean completion because of the sniper scope. And that's before you look at the receiver, which is a 1 and 4. 49-yard punt will be down inside the 20. Bobby Rainey at his own 19. He's got a pretty decent card. The opponent punt returns a weak. And Rainey fumbles it again. Second time in a row, and the commissioner recovers. Oh, Dan. Dan says, what the blank do I got to do around here? Ed's punted twice. Rainey's fumbled both times. The first time the Chiefs recovered. This time they do not. And down 7-0 if they're missing 2 field goals. Now they've got to defend 18 yards of real estate, lest they fall down 14-0 to Ed Burrow. Short pass, D. Smith. Defense run King. Only 3 men there. He's covered by a 4. And 9 is incomplete. 2-7 is what you wanted with an 8 receiver for Cousins. And Dan says, thank God, I deserve something. Now he's going my way here. Defense showing blitz. 2nd and 10 from the 18. It's got 2 7s on the left side. But Alex Mack's only a 4 at center. My gosh, the right tackle's only a 2. Looking past Delaney Walker. The blitz is on, but there's a linebacker in looking pass. He's only a 4, linebacker, extra short gain, but it's Manti Te'o making the play 4 and a 4. Did that one for his girlfriend. 3rd and 10. She's really, really hot. She's from Canada. You guys haven't met her yet. But 3rd and 10 for San Francisco at the Kansas City 18. Defense goes 3-3-5 blitz. Offense in the shotgun. Tim Hightower, the running back. Ed, I think, has a decent kicker. Looking past the Hightower. Linebacker 5 is there. It went to white die 6. Defender X 1 or +3. Defender +1 or +3 is the better reading. It's a 3-yard gain. And it'll be Caleb Sturgis out for the field goal attempt. The 32-yarder is 2-9 and 12. Up and good on a 4. Ed takes a 10-0 lead. Dan has got to regroup. And the kick goes down to the 5-yard line, and Rainey brings this one out with a good return, 31 yards, up to his own 36. Even one of those field goals being good would have made it 10-3, and he could tie the game now. Instead, he's down 2 scores, and he's got to try to make something happen. And then stop Ed. And I think Ed received the ball to start. Long pass, Cameron Brate. Navarro Bowman on the double team. So the 0-man column will still play because he doesn't move in there. Is a dump off from Rodgers to Bolden for 7 yards. Making it 2nd down and 3 for Kansas City. They're on 43. So they're in good shape to try to get a drive going and finally get on the board. After missing 2 field goal attempts and then fumbling a punt return. That's not the way you want your playoff game to unfold. Certainly if you want to have more than one playoff game. Off tackle right to Jeremy Hill. There's no linebackers there. Defense double teaming Amari Cooper. Offensive onside tackle +5 or +2. Brian Beluga is only a 4, but he made the block. 4 and a 4. I don't know what I was looking at. I thought he missed it. But he didn't. We have a 1st down and 10. For the Chiefs at their own 48, 6:36 to go in the first half. Short pass, Mercedes Lewis. 3 men there. And it's a must run for Rodgers. And what a must run it is. 16 yards on a 3. You see what I'm talking about. 2-7 is 10 yards or more. And through 9, 2-9, you get 6 yards or more. So that's an excellent must run column for number 12. Long pass, Cameron Brate. Nobody there. He's covered only by a 4. And picked off 2-3 on the dump off. 8 is incomplete. It was a second high linebacker reading, and Ed did not bring blitzes. Or certainly didn't bring two of them. Making sure I'm good over here, and I am. Second down and 10. Kansas City at the San Francisco 36. The last thing in the world Dan wants to do is try another long field goal. Short pass from Mercedes Lewis. Defense calls run, and it's complete for 13 yards on Rogers' card. First and 10 Chiefs at the San Francisco 23. So this is the third time that the Chiefs have penetrated the San Francisco 25-yard line. So far, they have no points. Missed a 2-10 field goal, missed a 2-7-12 field goal. That was Lewis's second catch of the day. Rogers trying to get going. Dan taking his time a little more with the play calling tonight than usual. Looking past to Mercedes Lewis. The blitz is on. Lewis is uncovered, but there are all three blitzes coming. And receiver gets wrong. 12 yards on the first down. Nice call by Dan. Ed has not been blitzing a lot. And Dan says, well, look, I got to throw some flats. Got to mix them in. And he picked a good time for it. And he's rewarded with a 1st and 10 at the San Francisco 11-yard line. Larry Donnell checking in because he catches touchdowns. As Dennis will tell you. Defense showing blitz, as the defenses tend to do as we get closer to the goal line. That safety shows blitz more often. Someone piping up over there. That was, I think, Michael Reeves. Emmer left Aaron Rodgers. Defense was guessed wrong, but they got a man there. Rodgers card 6 is good yardage. 15 yards and a touchdown. Aaron Rodgers, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 11, and 3. Look at that. No short gains, but short gain yardage. So the Chiefs finally get on the board, and out comes Brandon McManus, the hated Brandon McManus, for the extra point attempt, 2-11. He hits this one. Good job, Brandon. And it's 10-7. And the kick goes deep into the end zone. Brandon Oliver will surely down it. And does. Michael, could you mute your microphone possibly?
I will.
Or if you want to talk, you don't have to. If you want to contribute. But either way is those are your two options. 1st and 10 Niners from their own 20, 4:12 to go in the first half. They lead 10-7. I believe the Chiefs will get the ball to start the third quarter. Enman right to Tim Hightower. Dan wisely calling run. You need the 1-2-3 here. Instead, it's an offensive guard. 8 or 3. An insult to injury. Spencer Long, the 4, makes a block. When you got a back like Hightower back there, you get an end run right, and he gets 8 yards or more, you're pretty upset. 2nd down and 2. 3:36 to go in the half. The winner makes the SSFA semifinals. I don't want to know yet who won that Washington-New Orleans game because I was watching it. Linebacker Hightower, Dan Cole's run it correctly again. Look, Ed likes to run the ball. Offensive right guard, 7 or +2. If you sit there and just concede the run to Ed, he'll be running wrong all day long. He likes to run the ball. Which means if Ed wins, he's going to rewatch this, hear me say that, and then he'll pass more often. Against me, at least. And anyone else who might be listening, like Dennis. Looking past to Tim Hightower. Defense calls run. Linebacker 5 in the zone. It's a 9-yard gain on Cousins' card. Hightower's got 5 catches for 41 yards. Second down to 1 for the commission at his own 39. Yes, Ed got the ball first and went on a 79-yard drive for a touchdown. So Dan will get it to start the second half. Carlos Hyde checks in on 2nd and 1. 2:24 to go. He certainly has a better running card than Hightower, I believe. There's a flat pass left to Anthony Fasano, covered by 0. And there's a 6 on the white die, 13 yards in the first down. It is across midfield. 1st and 10 for the commissioner at the Kansas City 48, 2:06 to go. So the clock will stop after this play. Caleb Sturgis warming up on the sideline. Long pass, Steve Smith being double teamed by Whitney Merciless. 3 blitzes on. Something good here for Dan. And 4 is incomplete on the double team and a very timely double team. Because I believe that is complete guess right. That is a long gain. Guess right. We've seen a number of quarterbacks in this card set with 5 units of long pass right, and it's on the 3 and 4. And Cousin is among them. But not that time, as the safety was there. 2nd down and 10. Dan shows blitz. 2-minute warning. Hightower back in the game. So Hyde perhaps is unlimited for the second half also. There's a flat pass right to Hightower. Defense guessing run. There's a linebacker 4 there. And this time it's a 6 for 2 yards. Not a white die 6, but combo dies. I don't like that phrase. Red dies 6. They don't have to be red. Could be yellow. Well, I think those are the colors. The red dice, I think, with baseball more. The little white die and the red dice. Yellow dice for football. 3rd and 8. That was not set in stone. It's just what I remember seems to be what you got. So Ed let the clock run. 1:30 to go. Doesn't want to give Dan a chance to score. Dan shows blitz. 3rd and 8. Ed, a candidate to flat pass here. Or to go up top. Looking to Delaney Walker. Dan brings everyone except 1. There's no linebackers there. Walker's covered by a 5. And 11 is a 13-yard pickup. That was not a white die 6. Dan playing for the sack. He gets burned on the flat pass. No men. And it's 1st and 10. Niners at the Kansas City 33. Ed chooses to use his first timeout. 1:22 to go. Now you have to start thinking about the danger of a touchdown. 10-7. Dan is still thinking about holding him completely scoreless. He would settle for the field goal attempt. I still feel like he had some bad breaks. Flat pass left to Hightower. Nobody there. It's guessed wrong on the double-double. This should be good yardage. And it's an 8-yard gain. Okay. But that's the danger of the double-double. If you don't blitz and get 5 guys on the line, it's guessed wrong on the quarterback and, of course, on the receiver. If it's a linebacker double. 2nd and 2, 1:15 to go. Looks like Hightower got out of bounds at time. Linebacker Hightower, 7 and 8 in play. As Dan's bringing blitzes on the off-tackle slots. There's a 7 on the defense, wide open up the middle, 17 yards for Hightower. He's got 10 carries for 60 yards. And it's 1st and goal from the 8. Ed's going to probably let the clock run down to 45 seconds because he has 2 timeouts, or he could go hurry up. Lets it run down to 45 seconds as expected and goes, well, full house is the default choice. Let's see what Ed chooses. It will be full house with Bilal Powell and Carlos Hyde. This line becomes 666, 546. We got 4s in the linebacker column, but you're 8 yards away. Defense showing blitz. This right outside 0 is covering probably Bilal Powell. He is. And run left to Carlos Hyde. Defense gets his pass. Nobody there. Needs 8 yards for a touchdown. Defensive end +1 or +5. He's a 5. It's a 1-yard gain only. 5 out of 5. Chandler Jones makes the play. Had a sack earlier. No, did not have a sack earlier. My bad. Had a pass rushing situation earlier. Not quite as exciting. That was Hyde's first carry of the game. He should be fresh for the second half. Probably see the commissioner maybe call time. Maybe go hurry up here. Go hurry up. You get 22 seconds. Then you run your play, timeout, 15 seconds. Then you run your play, timeout. Yeah, so hurry up offense. Ed's probably going through the math right now. And you'll probably see him go hurry up. Assuming he likes this formation. Instead, he doesn't do anything. Lets him run down completely because he knows if he gets to fourth down, he's going to try a field goal. So Ed goes one better than me on that with the reasoning. And he goes full house again. Stefon Diggs, the receiver, better with a better short passing than Malcolm Floyd, and not letting anything get past him. Robo coach, Dennis called him, doesn't make any mistakes, he said. He means that as a compliment. Short pass to Laney Walker, defense showing blitz. The blitz is on, but there's no bump for the 2-4-6. Just the straight ratings. Picked off 2 to 5, 11 to 12, incomplete. On those good short pass defense cards, if Dan had left the safety back there, it would have been picked off. But I don't think you're really going to do that when you show blitz from the 7, and there were some pass rushing opportunities to be had. So I think you are going to bring the safety there after you show it. 3rd and goal from the 7. This is a huge play in the game. Touchdown here will make it 17-7, Ed. And Dan's going to have a hard time against the commissioner's stingy defense. But if Dan can hold him and force a field goal attempt, then it'll be 13-7, assuming a make. And then if Dan can get anything going on his next possession to start the second half, he'll feel like, okay, I've weathered the storm. I'm still here. I've had some bad luck. Let's see what happens afterwards. 3rd and goal from the 7. Defense showing blitz again. Short pass to Malcolm Floyd. Defense calls run. Foreman in the zone, though. So Kirk Cousins wrong. 2 to 7. 9 incomplete the second time. Oh, man. A bit of a ballsy call there by Dan. And he got away with it.
I think Bilal Powell has those 2 short gains on 7 and 8, so he must have been thinking he was going to run it.
Indeed. And Caleb Sturgis with the field goal attempt that has not been good, 13-7. And Ed needs a 2-minute break, which gives us time for a word from our sponsors.
Today's game is being brought to you by Tasty Cakes. Tasty Cakes, the Philadelphia snack food that's sweeping the nation. Get yourself some Tasty Cakes.
Very nice.
That's the only read I had available, even though they stopped sponsoring.
That's right, yeah. We couldn't come to agreement on the terms.
So 2 missed field goals by Kansas City, or this game would be tied.
Yes. Well, one of them was only 2 to 7 and 12. But certainly he should have made at least one of those easily. More likely to make both than miss both. And even at 13-10, I think he would feel better about it. Now, on the other hand, look, 13-7, I'm within a touchdown. You know, I fumbled away a punt at my own 18. I missed a field goal 2 to 10. I missed a field goal 2 to 7 and 12. And I'm still here.
Yeah, he's holding Ed out of the end zone there at the end was huge.
Absolutely.
Get the ball first, and you're down a score.
Yes. Now, I think what's difficult, though, is, Ed's such a good defensive coach. Jeremy Hill doesn't seem to have it today, although it's early. We'll see what happens. Got to put the ball on, maybe put the ball on Rodgers' shoulders. I know you're fond of abandoning the run and passing constantly, right, Dennis?
Who does he have behind Jeremy Hill? Because I wouldn't give up on the run yet. But if he has
I'm
to
not saying
his carries
on the run, but nobody.
Yeah, he's behind him. Is
Sharknado.
Sharknado is the backup running back.
Okay. Oh, he had a good year. 714 yards at a 4.7. And his chief ground game surprisingly had about 2,500 yards rushing. He ran the ball more than he passed it. Some of that Aaron Rodgers on the must run, but still. And Charchandra can be effective. But no, I'm not saying you should bench.
No, I'm just saying.
I'm just saying that. Sometimes you get a feeling like, what? I just don't feel like this is going to be one of his good games. It's even one of those +2, +3 games the whole time. You feel like, and you keep running the guy, but sometimes you just get a feeling like that's the way it's going.
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, the thing is though, when you just need 1 or 2 good rolls to get going. You're right about Ed though. It's hard to get him figured out where you're going to be running guessed wrong, and that's really what you want with Jeremy Hill.
Yeah, I like the job that Dan has done in defense, calling a fair amount of run, especially in that second quarter, and getting Tim Hightower gets right a few times. Guys bringing these just like Chandrick West, these second level backs who aren't that great and think they can run guess wrong all day. Well, no, you get a couple of right calls on there. These guys are generally going nowhere. They're told zeros and -1s for the most part on their card.
Yeah, good point.
Dan's problem, I think he's been blitzing maybe a little too much. Ed's been catching with the flat passes. But hey, Dan's going to dance with who brung him. He's a blitzing guy.
He has quite a few 0s and 4s, I believe, right? So he's trying to take chances and make the most of his personnel. Can't fault him for that.
Yeah, no, it's been a challenge.
But a guy like Ed is gonna notice those patterns. He's gonna notice that you're leaving your flats open, and he'll change it up and call draws and hit your empty flats. So you got to be careful for sure.
Yeah, well, Dan came out using his linebackers to double down the field a lot because he's got corner 4s against Malcolm Floyd and Steve Smith with Cousins at quarterback, and Ed was throwing flats mostly. Dan's got a little bit away from that. He's blitzed more, but it's a tough spot. I mean, Ed's thrown a couple of bombs, so I mean, Dan as a defensive coordinator, Dan's got his work cut out for him. But even so, it's still only 13-7, and he's about to get the ball. So it's certainly not over by any stretch of the imagination.
No, for sure. That's good. Sometimes when you have those.
Who's this? Hold on.
Quit.
That's not Dan Moore in the room, is it?
Maybe Dan Sir. He's another SSFA coach.
Yeah, I know Dan Sir. Can you try to find out and make sure that Dan Moore might not realize it, but what the coach who's playing to be listening again, having his coaching affected. Is there any way for you to find out who that is, or AIM Dan Sir perhaps?
No, it's Dan Thorhauer. You can see in the group chat.
The mighty Thorhauer.
It's Dan Thorhauer joined the chat.
The Thorhauer hour.
Yes.
Okay, 1st and 10 for the Chiefs at their own 20 after the touchback, which I missed. I was dealing with crowd control. Everyone left for Jeremy Hill. Ed double teaming down the field. He's started doing that late in the second quarter. Offensive onside guard, 8-3, gets a block from the 4. That's Orlando Franklin, whose NFL career is in decline. He's on my own win team, but not that time. And there's 9 carries for 32 yards for Hill, 2nd and 2. And Sharknado will have to play, like you said. Jeremy's got carries, but I think West will have to be sprinkled in, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. Especially in situations like this where it's 2nd and 2. That's why I would have definitely brought in Sharknado there, because if he gets his run, and you might pick up the first down just based on your blockers, and you don't waste a carry. You want those Jeremy Hill runs to be guessed wrong as often as possible. Not like
there's an right to Jeremy Hill. 11 -5 on the pitch out on 2nd and 2, and 5 was -6. Sometimes we like to do that short yards, we do the end run, but maybe on 3rd down where it's hit or miss, if you don't get it, you're going to punt anyway. On 2nd and 2, maybe not the best call in hindsight.
Well, from the optimistic standpoint, he avoided an interception split on Rodgers. What if he would have rolled that, then a snake eyes on the split? That would have been even worse.
Yeah, I suppose. Ed goes 3-2-6 here on 3rd and 7. 3 wide, 1 halfback. And those extras are all 4s.
Yeah, there was some talk on the forum that 3-2-6 is the superior defense when you're in containment. I think Junu Kim brought that up and ran through all the scenarios.
As opposed to the nickel 3-3-5, you mean?
Right, because you have chances to double team 2 of the 5 receivers, and even if you don't get it right with if you have enough guys in the line of scrimmage, it's going to be guessed right on the quarterback's card. He went through a whole bunch of things, and I think he was focused on using it to stop the flats as run rule. But even without that rule, some other guys were saying that it does have its benefits. So especially if your personnel don't match.
That's what it comes down to. It depends on who your linebacker is.
Right. If you have a 6, don't take out your 6-6. Don't take out Bobby Wagner because you want to play a different formation.
Yeah, or even a 5. Don't take out Bernardrick McKinney probably.
Right.
Even though he gets burned, if you take out a 5 for a 0, or even for a 4, you probably leave the 5 in there.
Yeah. So Dan had to take a quick break because one of his kids was berating his call on 2nd and 2. So hopefully that's taken care of Dan's running an end run on 2nd and 2.
Junior's like end run.
Are you kidding me, Dad?
Line pass left to Randall Cobb, 3rd and 7. He's only a 4 linebacker there. So maybe Dan can get a white die 6. Ed's had plenty of them, but no, it's not to be. It is 7 on Rogers' card for 4 yards. Short of the first down, 4th and 3. And after all the build-up to Dan getting the ball to start the 3rd quarter, left to punt it. Maybe you can get a punt fumble.
That is such an odd card for Aaron Rodgers on a flat guess, right?
Won't be like that next year. 34-yard punt down to the 39 for T.J. Carey. Cash and carry. And when I have it's a 7-yard return on a 9. Kind of an ugly punt return. Card 2 to 12, but that's because the 1-2-3 is there. Usually you used to see more fair catches. Well, a +1 and 0 is kind of weird looking. But Ed's got great field position after the 27-yard net at his own 46. And Dan's, look, I mean, if Ed scores, the game's not over in the early 3rd quarter. But Dan really wants to stop him here badly. Doesn't want to fall down by 2 scores again. Yeah,
and not only did he not score on his opening drive, he had a poor punt, and Ed starting near midfield.
Short pass to Anthony Fasano, covered by the 0. Ed's been throwing to the guys covered by the outside linebackers. And short pass right in Cousins' guard is complete for 11 yards. There was no asterisk there in reality. Quan Short's one looking like it went down, either because he's playing the nose tackle or because of the formation. Oh, yeah, Ed was too tight, so it was Short moving to nose tackle that brought him down 1.
Right, and Dan's seen Ed try to go over the
long
top.
Pass Malcolm Floyd. Going over the top again. Nobody there. Coming by 4. He wants a defense's card, particularly a 5 or 6 in the white die. And receiver guessed right is incomplete on the maxed out Floyd. He's still only 15 guessed right out of 36. That was a white die 5, so 8 or 9 or 12 is what you'd like to see.
Yeah, so what I was saying there is that if Fasano can't go deep, he can only go short, so he wants to use his double teams on one of those outside guys. That time he double teamed both tight ends, and Ed almost caught him slipping there.
Short pass, Malcolm Floyd. Defense gets the pass. 3 men in zone. Dump off in play. No one rushing. It's only 2nd and 10. There's the dump off. 7 yards to Bilal Powell, who is now in the game as the featured back, probably unlimited here in the second half. Carlos Hyde maybe unlimited the second half as well. We did not see him in the first half doing much.
Yeah,
Carlos unlimited period. He had over 100 carries.
Exactly. He has 115 carries, so he's unlimited period, but he's limited in the respect that he only has, like 14 or 15 unfatigued carries.
All right, 3rd and 3.
And
Hightower being back in the regular season. That was a
72% chance of a sack on that play, by the way.
Emma right to Tim Hightower. Defense guesses pass. Linebacker 4. Offensive onside end +9 or +4. Delaney Walker makes the block. Delaney Walker and Charles Clay. Guys you used to always think of as receiving tight ends who get good strat block ratings. Charles Clay's a 6 this year.
Wow.
I'm sure it's deserved. I'm just a couple years ago, you would have thought of them in the 4/0 category.
Right. Even Jimmy Graham has gotten a 4 the last couple of years, which is shows you can teach an old dog new tricks.
The double box is in play, and Ed's been popping it every time I say that. But at that time, dreaded 5, no gain. But interesting to me, if you look at Ed's regular season stats, that Hightower was by far his featured back, and that's what he's doing again tonight. Maybe he likes having Hyde and Powell unlimited. But, didn't Hyde have over 100 carries last year?
115 carries.
There's a linebacker to Hyde. No linebackers there. Double box in play again. And trying to avoid the dreaded back-to-back double 5. And I jinxed him. The dreaded 5 again. A back-to-back plays. Doesn't get much worse than that. Well, it does. But that's unappetizing. And it's 3rd and 10 for the commissioner. What is Caleb Sturgis from out here, Dennis?
Let me check that. Sturgis is 2 through 9 and 12 from 23-32.
3 wide, 1 halfback from the shotgun formation this time. Nickel 3-3-5 showing blitz. Flat pass right to Malcolm Floyd. You got 2 men on line of scrimmage and a 5 linebacker there. No white die 6 is what Dan's saying. And he avoids it on a white die. There was a pass rushing situation. 1-31. Ultimately a white die 5. Only a 1-yard gain. 4th and 9. Here's Sturgis for the 43-yard attempt. 2 to 9 and 12. This is a big kick. Ed trying to go up by more than a touchdown is up and good. On the 7, Sturgis 3 for 3 on field goals. McManus 0 for 2. And we have a Super Bowl III score, 16 to 7. Ed leading Dan. The kick goes into the end zone for a touchback. Midway through the third quarter, 8:42 to go. Chiefs down 16-7. Let's see if we can get something going here.
Sometimes when a coach is calling you so good on defense, you go to a formation like this, which limits his normal options. When he's in a 3-3-5 as opposed to a 3-4, he can't do quite as many things with those linebackers.
Yeah, and you do try to just change it up because whatever you're doing isn't working. Linebacker Jeremy Hill. There's one linebacker behind, 8 double box in play. White die rule in effect from the 3 wide. Delayed clicking in effect. That's usually a bad sign. There's like it might be a loose ball.
No, he's offering up his fruit platter to Jobu.
That's right. 7 on the defense is 7 yards. Second down and 3 for Dan. So he goes 3 wide again. I'm going to guess no end run Jeremy Hill this time. And Dan did move the ball in the first half. I mean, he tried the 2 field goals down there, although one of them was after an interception. And he got the touchdown right before halftime. So it wasn't like it was completely shutting him down. But it is definitely a tough situation for Dan.
Those linebackers have starkly different run ratings, so he's got him guessed wrong here anyway.
Linebacker Jeremy Hill, only one linebacker behind, dreaded 5.
Dreaded 5.
Gains a yard though. It's like we talk about Hill card being better than expected. He's still like 5 and 6 is 1 yard.
Yeah, that's not good.
So
yeah, he has Navarro Bowman, who is a 6 on one side, and then on the other side he's got a Daryl Smith, who's a 0.46.
3rd and 2 for Dan. Big third down at his own 28. See, Jeremy Hill, 12 carries, 35 yards. This is where Rodgers' flat pass weakness hurts you. You can still throw it, but it hurts you. Try to throw a flat pass at the 6. You don't only be one guy there. Long pass to Mark Cooper. Defense double teaming elsewhere. Cooper covered by 5. Must run to help out Rodgers. Receiver gets right. Incomplete. 10 was the long gain, and he hit it on 11. 1, 3, 6, 12, 15. Cooper's maxed out deep. I didn't realize. I wonder he's throwing it to him 3 times. 4th and 2, his own 28. He's thinking about going, but decides I better not. And he's going to punt it. So aggressive play call by Dan almost paid off. 46-yard kick. And that's a game situation where he's thinking, okay, I can run a play to get my 2 yards, and I got a first down on my own 30. Or I can try to catch him napping and go up top and maybe turn the game around if I get a big play. So almost paid off. I see what he's thinking there. 1st and 10 for Ed at his own 17. Carlos Hyde. Dr. Powell and Mr. Hyde. The second half unlimited for Ed. No laugh track needed after that remark. Lima Carlos Hyde, double box in play. I think he hit the dreaded 5 on his last 2 runs. Short gain this time, 17 yards and a first down. I'll tell you, I played Ed a fair amount in the last 5-6 years. You get anxious when you get to this part of the game and you're behind Ed. You're behind by more than 1 score, and he's got the ball. You know, he's just so solid.
Yeah, this is where you feel he can put the game away with 1 more score.
Especially a touchdown, yes. Everyone right, Carlos Hyde, no linebackers there. 4 is a 5-yard gain. You had the sexy 8+22 opportunity there, but did not hit it. The +12 with the box. That's always nice. 2nd and 5 for the commish. Flat pass could be in play here. Hasn't done one of those in a while. Ed doesn't like to get too aggressive when he's in this type of situation with the lead. It wants to make you have to beat him. He doesn't want to beat himself. Now, as I say that, he'll probably throw a bomb here to throw me off. Looking past T. Smith, linebackers at 5. Dan was covering the outside flats. Picked off 2 to 5, 11 and 12, incomplete.
Oh my! If that had been left to right flat and a touchdown on a pick six type situation, that would have been huge.
Absolutely. Second time that Dan's missed the interception. 2 to 5, 11 and 12 on his good pass defense cards. At least it's an incompletion. It would have only been 1 yard anyway. It would have broken containment, but I'm sure he wanted that pick. Let's not kid ourselves. 3rd and 5 for the Niners at their own 39. This is a big play. Of course, if he has to punt it, Bobby Rainey fumbles yet again, that'd be an even bigger play. This play brought to you by Dunkirk, the movie, opening soon at theaters near you. I'm planning on going to see that. Looks good. And I
like those World War II epic
movies. Yes.
battle.
Like Kelly's Heroes.
Just like the battles we have right here.
Exactly. Very similar. 3rd and 5. Dan's offense is stranded on the beach. Oh, we should make light of that. Long pass for Malcolm Floyd gets wrong. Covered by a 4. Can the commissioner get it big here? 3rd and 5. All the way live.
Go big or go home. He's going big.
He's past the 40, past the 30, down inside the 20. Malcolm Floyd for a 44-yard completion. Dan gets run on 3rd and 5. It's always tough to do that, but we know sometimes you don't do it, you get burned. And Ed went up top. Go big or go home. A 44-yard completion. I just mentioned Ed not getting too aggressive. But that's different. 3rd and 5. Almost no one defends the bomb at 3rd and 5.
Yeah, I'm sure he expected him to call pass and flood the flats again.
Yeah, and I'll take a long pass right to Floyd and no blitzes. A linebacker, so a dump off might be in play. Linebacker to Carlos Hyde. Defense showing blitz. Double box in play would be a touchdown here. What if Ed will go for 2, but it's a dreaded 5 for the 3rd time in about 4 carries for Hyde. He still has 6 for 23 because one of the others was a 17-yard gain on the aforementioned double box. We got Dennis Crowley in the semifinals. He's with us. I don't want to know who know yet, so no spoiler alerts, but the winner of that New Orleans-Washington game is there. The winner of this game will join us. And then it looks like next week, because there's a travel issue, Jay Villing, the back-to-back champion, hosting Nathan Baylor in the other semifinal, the other quarterfinal. Am I right to Carlos Hyde? No gain. 3rd and 10. Field goal makes it 19-7. Sturgis is at least 2 9 and 12 from here.
You still have hope if you hold them to a field goal. You're just down 2 touchdowns.
Indeed. Now, Dan's got this good pass defenses. I always get a little leery throwing like inside the 14, throwing short passes against those good pass defenses with that 2 to 7 or 2 to 7 and 12 interception on the 9. Seem to hit that quite a bit.
Yeah, maybe a flat pass here? Maybe a run with Hightower trying to hit that double box?
Yeah, the flat pass has been good to him, and there's no 6s here. And Dan's been blitzing out of it. Maybe Dan won't blitz. There's the draw to Hightower, 7 or 8 in play. Either one is a touchdown on the defense's card. And taking his time. You can do it, Ed. Just click.
No whammies, no whammies, no whammies.
Oh, you got +1. You know, Dennis, San Francisco really could have used a blocking back to help with that play.
Yeah, I'm sure he needed those extra 2 yards.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying that the Strat game says. So here comes Sturgis for yet another field goal attempt. Can this be a game? Let's see if he makes this first. 33-yard attempt. It's at least 2 to 9 and 12, which is not automatic. It was 2 to 11, which is even nicer. Was there a variable? Yes, that was moved up by 4 yards to get into that 2 to 11 range. Makes it 19-7. Now, 19-7, he's kicked 4 field goals, only 1 touchdown. I mean, Dan comes down and gets a touchdown, bang, 19-14. This could be one of those games where we're settling for having to settle for field goals hurts you. It wasn't Ed's choice to settle for field goals. He was forced to settle for field goals. But we've seen that before. You build up a lead and everything looks good. You're kicking field goals. The other guy gets a touchdown. You turn the ball over. Now you're in big trouble. Let's see if that storyline unfolds or some other storyline will develop. Maybe Ed's defense will just continue to stymie this Kansas City offense. Linebacker Jeremy Hill, double box in play at double teaming down the field. Offensive right guard +7 or +2. Anquan Bolden has been left in single coverage against the right corner 6. largely the entire night. I expect that to continue. That's Darius Slay covering Bolden, the young Detroit Lion corner. Off tackles, draw to Jeremy Hill. Defense calls run on 2nd and 8. That's going to hurt Dan. Well, he needs some blocking on the tackle. Defensive nose tackle -1 to +2. Not a total disaster. Benny Logan could not make the play. 6 against a 5. And it's only a 2-yard gain. 14 carries, 39 yards for Hill.
Hill's got that impressive 2.8 yards per carry average.
Yes, no fumbles though. 3rd and 6. 3rd and 6 for the Chiefs at their own 24. 3 wide, 1 halfback. I feel like Dan's offense has struggled in these situations tonight. I could be wrong. Long pass, Cameron Brate, single coverage. He's covered by 4. The double teams on Randall Cobb. And there's a long gain on Rogers' card. Not a great roll for the long gain, only 31 yards, but a big completion on 3rd and 6. So we saw Ed go up top 3rd and 5. The difference here that Dan was in the 3 wide and Ed was in the nickel. What Ed did, it was against the base formation, and Aaron Rodgers connecting for a big 31-yard completion to the young tight end Cameron Brate out of Harvard. 1st and 10 for the Chiefs in the San Francisco 45. Last minute of the 3rd quarter. Chiefs know he gets a touchdown this drive. The whole new ball game. Flat pass left to Mercedes Lewis. Defense double teaming elsewhere. Linebackers a 4. Dan with a white die 6. Gets 4 yards on Rodgers' card. Hey, Rodgers. 2nd and 6 for the Chiefs at the San Francisco 41. Will it happen? Can Dan traverse these final 41 yards, get into the end zone, make it 19-14, make the commissioner sweat? Even if they gets a field goal after that, Dan ties with a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. Long pass, Mercedes Lewis gets wrong. He's covered by a 4. The safety's a 4. Defensive back in zone is only a 4. Extra plus 29. Does not make the play. It's a 29-yard completion from Aaron Rodgers going down the field to Mercedes Lewis, the veteran. Rashad Jones only a 4 in coverage, 6 of the white die. 1st down and 10 Chiefs at the San Francisco 12 as we start the 4th quarter. They trail 19-7. Touchdown here makes it 19-14.
Very impressive. You're down. You know you need big plays, but you don't want to come out and bomb right away. He waited to the right time, and he hit those rolls.
Defense showing blitz. Offense still in the 2 tight, 2 wide, 1 running back. Bolden won't be double teamed. You can throw to him, keep the dump off, and must run more alive. Pass blocking is questionable.
Remember that Rodgers end run column too.
That's right. Ember left Aaron Rodgers. You called as a linebacker there, though. 1, 2, 3 could be a touchdown. Linebackers go -5 or +6. It's a 6-yard gain. Melvin Ingram, there's a 5, could not make the play on the white die 6. Oh, Nelly.
And that's
what did we say about Melvin Ingram?
Yeah, and that's the last carry for Rodgers on an in run.
And we hear the Crowley children in the background following the action intently on the screen, I'm sure. Right, Dennis?
They're swimming and making noise, so I'm trying to mute my microphone in between my inane comments.
I see. 2nd down and 4 for the Chiefs at the San Francisco 6-yard line. Goes full out backfield. Chandrick West is the other runner. Cameron Brate can't run it. Rodgers 3 carries, 33 yards, but that was his last end run. Dan's got it, goes 5-6-6 on the line buck, but Ed's got that left inside 6. Probably a short pass. Dan's pretty aggressive. Short pass, Jeremy Hill. Defense calls run. They're all 4 men in zone. He wants Rodgers caught incomplete on the defense with 4 men. Had the right call. Didn't get the right roll. 3rd and 4.
Okay, let's assume he misses here. Would you kick the field goal or go for it?
I'm going to go for it. And I'm making that decision before I make this play call. And I'm going to slam it up in there with one of these guys and try to get a couple yards to give me a shorter 4th down.
I like it.
And to be honest, this might sound crazy to you, but end run might not be a bad play either. I think, especially over here behind the 0, I don't think Ed's going to bring the guy there. But defense
he's going to be blitzing though. He's going to showing blitz and bringing people on those in run plugs. I think
you might be right. The left tackle guy is a 6, so Maybe I'd run the other way. Maybe I don't think that way. You're right. Line Jeremy Hill. Defense gets his pass. Danny's a 1-2-3. 11 is a 5-yard gain. First down for Hill. I thought it was a touchdown, but just short. First and goal from the 1 for Dan. Down 19-7. 13:30 to go in the entire football game, unless we end up in overtime, which does not seem likely with this score. They played to overtime in the regular season. They played a tie. 23-23. These two teams tied their game and were only one game apart in the standings.
And I'll point out that would have been an interception split on Rogers' card.
That's very true. 2-4 and 12, I think. But I think we saw that earlier. I'm not certain. Linebook Jeremy Hill. Defense calls run. Left inside the 6. Offensive center makes the block. Joe Berger. It's Berger time. Touchdown for the Chiefs. 19-13. They hated Brandon McManus coming out to try and make it 19-14. Can you do this at least? He does. Oh, what Dan would do to get one of those field goals back. 19-14. Just like I said,
even one of those field goals.
Absolutely.
Even if he didn't, if he just had that 2 through 10 field goal.
Sure, 1917, and because even then, no matter what Ed did, he could well, whatever, it would be helpful. First and 4.
Well, we got ourselves a ball game. That touchdown gave us a new look at this last 12 minutes.
That's right. Ed's got 5 scores. Dan's got 2 scores, but 4 of Ed's are field goals. So it's not 19-14, and why we have a setup to a potentially great finish. End run right to Carlos Hyde. Defense gets his pass. Defensive ends of 4. Tight ends of 5 blocking Delaney Walker. 4 is a 5-yard gain for Hyde. Fumble number is the minimum, 3.0. Second and 5. Cousins' fumble number is 5.2. I think he lost like 13 fumbles in the regular season for Ed. I was looking at some stats earlier as I was relaxing during the New Orleans-Washington broadcast.
Yeah, Dan would love to see one of those now.
Second down and 5 for Ed. Flat pass left, Delaney Walker being double-teamed by Corey Graham. We saw a pick earlier in the game on this. There it is again. Flat pass interception, clean the Cousins card from like about the 28. Dan can run on the touchdown here, 8 out of 36. 22% chance of the touchdown. And instead it's no gain again on the 7. No gain on the interception return die. That is the second time, Dennis, that Dan Warren has successfully double-teamed Delaney Walker on a flat pass, resulting in a clean interception. The first one was on the defense's card. And what a time for it.
There's some dancing in the Kansas City Chiefs luxury box, folks.
Well, don't be dancing just yet. Don't start celebrating too soon. How about you should have a pensive, tense gripping of your program if people still buy programs. Maybe the ownership is dancing. I don't know. Who owns the Chiefs? Lamar Hunt? Oh, that was the old guy. Who's the new Hunt? Byron Hunt? Emerald left, Chandler Quest. Got a good call. Got a plus 21 in there somewhere. I like this column on his card. It's got strong. Defensive ends of 5. Have not a defensive end reading in a while. And 7 is a 5-yard gain. That's not a bad guess wrong column. I mean, the 4 and 5 is always bad. That's not too bad. So you hit 6 through 12. 3 plus 22.
Yeah, you get some of those chunky runs. You're in good shape.
Yeah, and there's 5s and 6s and 4s in there, so it's not.
And like you pointed out earlier, the name value doesn't get as many run calls as you might normally think.
Yeah, although these guys know what they're doing and are not the type to fall for that usually. And West only has a fumble of 3.0. Rogers' fumble is only 1.6. Second down and 5. Brandon McManus warming up on the sideline. You don't want to see him, Dennis, unless it's for an extra point. And actually, it would be a 2-point conversion. Long pass to Mari Cooper. Defense gets his pass. Single coverage to Cooper's a 5. Receiver gets right. Again, 11 is incomplete. It's the second time he just missed that 10-long gain. Setting up 3rd and 5. It's only 2 to 7 and 12 from here. Although the variable field goal helps you. I think he's 2 to 9 and 12 from inside the 22. Dennis, can you look that up?
Yeah.
I was going to say I want to see him stay base offense, and he is. Keep the run in play. Don't make it too easy for Ed. 2 tights, 2 wides, 1 running back. Chandrick West. Covered by a 6. Larry Donald covered by a 4.
McManus is 2 through 10 if he gets it inside the 23, inside the 22.
Okay, defense is going nickel 3-3-5. Will we see a run? Now, Bowman is the middle linebacker. He's a 6 against the runs. You don't want to run at him. What's this left outside?
That is a huge difference. 2 through 7 or 12, from 23.
Shortly's only at 5, but he's going to throw it. Short pass, Larry Donald. 3 men there, covered by a 4. Dump off and must runs in play. I think smell a must run coming up for Rogers, which would be great on a 2-9 as a first down. Dan taking his time to click this one. There it is. Complete for a first down. There it is, not a must run, but a completion. That was Toronto Olmstead providing Rogers with plenty of time. It's a 13-yard completion to Donald, his first catch of the game. 1st and 10, Chiefs at the San Francisco 10, and the tension is real.
I think we got just what we wanted as neutral observers in this one.
Yes, I don't have any first-round picks for these guys, so I'm a neutral observer. 1st and 10 for the Chefs at the San Francisco 10. Defense showing blitz. Ed is still such a strong coach. I smell a run with West. Maybe an off tackle behind the 6. I wouldn't go draw play here. I'll be concerned about the run call. You can maybe throw flat at the 6. Short pass, Anquan Bolden. The blitz is on. The safety and 2 linebackers. And the dump off is in play, incomplete on Rogers on a 5. That was a 5 on 11. Melvin Ingram coming from the outside, 1-45 sack. 90 on the random dice. Well, yes, well. Dungeons & Dragons with 2 10-sided dice to generate a roll from 1 to 100. Technically, this is a digital 100-sided die, but 2nd and goal from the 10 for the Chiefs. 10-12 to go. Can they get this touchdown to take the lead? They will try a 2-point conversion if they do. Defense showing blitz again. Shonley is a 6. Melvin Ingram, of course, the 12-5. Maybe a flat pass, Shonley's direction to Larry Donald. He's thrown to Donald.
I'm going for an end run or a flat.
And run Jeremy
Get
Hill.
That 6-7 short gain on Till's card.
Short pass Jeremy Hill. The blitz is on. 3 guys coming. He's thrown to Jeremy Hill. Defender extra short gain is a touchdown because Sean Lee was blitzing. There it is. Dan Morin comes back from 19-7 with 2 touchdowns in the 4th quarter, forcing the turnover on the flat pass double team of Delaney Walker. Goes to short field. Rogers comes through on 3rd and goal from the 10. And now Dan, leading 20-19, lines up for 2 to try and make it a field goal lead instead of a 2-point lead. And it's going to be Jeremy Hill as the one back, 2 tight end, 2 wide, 1 running back. This is actually a time that you might prefer a blocking back formation. There's no flat passing anyway.
Yeah, and you kind of, you almost want to bring both, either go full house because his backs can catch, or go blocking back.
Defense showing blitz. I don't know what he does here. I think he's probably going to pass that. What do you think?
Yeah,
Cooper.
Yeah, I think he's going to run it. I think he's going to.
All right, I'm going short pass to Cooper is my guess. Short pass Larry Donald, covered by a 4. Defense blitzing. There it is, complete for the 2-point conversion. 22-19. We have an even more exciting game. Did I say no overtime because of the score, Dennis? Is that what I said earlier?
You did. You have to take 10 lashes for that. You were incorrect.
That was fake news, Dennis. I don't know what you're talking about. I would never do such a thing. 22-19. The commissioner up against it. Dan Morin. You know there's going to be a lot of blitzing during this drive. Maybe not every play, but he will be blitzing. Does he start off showing it? That's what he's thinking right now.
Yeah.
No showing blitz. Ed challenged him earlier in the game on an all-out blitz with a bomb. It was incomplete. Ed has sprinkled in the bombs. Bilal Powell checking in for maybe his first extensive action, and it's about time. He's got a pretty nice card.
Yeah, I
Hightower, Schmeitower.
Exactly. I think that Powell's fighting for more playing time in the next couple games.
He'll get plenty of playing time next year. His card might be real good. He averaged, I think, like 5.7 a carry. Short pass to Anthony Visano against a run call. Visano covered by 0. Cousins has struggled short pass wrong tonight. But that's complete for 10 yards to the blocking back / tight end. The veteran, I believe, right? I might think of somebody else. 1st and 10 for the Niners up at their own 30. Cousins 19 of 31, 196, but with 2 interceptions against only 1 touchdown. Ed's not one to try and get a all-in-one shot. Looking past Bilal Powell, defense double teaming elsewhere. Linebackers a 4. Ed's been killing him with white die 6s tonight. And this time it's 12 on Cousins' card for 5 yards. Look at that 3 through 12. I mean, that's very strong. Cousins can throw in all 3 levels. He should have a great card next year. Probably a top 5 quarterback card, possibly. We'll find out hopefully within a week or 2. When the ratings file comes out from the good people at Strat-O-Matic, courtesy of our friend Mike Kane. 8:42 to go. It is late, folks. There is no time to mess around. There's no time to wait. Linebacker Bilal Powell, only 1 linebacker behind. 8 double box in play. No dreaded 5 is what Ed says. Offensive center 10 and 2. That's Alex Big Mac. He's a 6 on a 6. Needed all of it. And he lays down the block for a 10-yard gain. Powell's first carry of the game here late in the 4th quarter.
Yeah,
Ed trails 22-19 from his own 45. Go ahead, Dennis.
I said one thing you got to realize is that a coach like Ed's not getting nervous. He's focusing and figuring out what he's got to do, and he's doing a good job of it so far.
Yes, he might be pissed, but he's not nervous. I know Ed. Ed's a pretty cool customer. He might even be drinking a cup of tea, dare I say. No pinky up, though. Not for a football coach. Linebacker Bilal Powell. This time the regular linebacker formation for the two linebackers behind. 8 is a 9-yard gain. It's a good thing Dan Kent is second linebacker back there. He has been moving those guys around a lot. And this time he kept them there. Otherwise, it would have been a 19-yard gain. But Ed's got the 9-yard gain on 1st and 10, setting up 2nd and 1 at the Chiefs' 46-yard line. We are halfway through the 4th quarter. 7:30 to go. Ed needs a field goal to tie, touchdown to take the lead. He's got a pretty good kicker, but you don't want to rely on anything. I get nervous lining up for those to tie the game. Looking past to Carlos Hyde. Defense double teaming elsewhere. Hyde is not covered. It's a 4-yard gain on Cousins' card on a not-so-dreaded 5. Sends up a first down for the Niners at the Kansas City 42. 6:54 to go. Tick, 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 tick. As Chris Berman would say.
Bump, 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 bump. I wish we had some of that music. You know.
I would be careful. I would be careful not doing too many line bugs here. Short pass, Steve Smith. Defense double teaming elsewhere. 3 men there. Dump off in play. 4 is incomplete. You know Dan's dying to bring both his inside linebackers up and snuff one of these line bugs for Bilal Powell.
And remember, Dan's got the good pass defense card like you've alluded to. So one too many short passes with 4 men in zone, it could be good night for Ed.
2nd and 10. This means a lot to Dan. He'd love to make a Somi for League semifinal. Off tackle left to Bilal Powell. No linebackers there. Powell's card is good, guess wrong. Ed now taking his time to click. There's an 8, 6-yard gain, 6 and 7 short gain, 3 plus 23. Why, look at this card. It shouldn't be on there. Look at why he's on the bench, Dennis. 3rd and 4, but it's on the bench now. 12 carries for the game, so he's got 9 unfatigued. So 3rd and 4 for Ed at the Kansas City 36. Dennis, what is Caleb Sturgis from the furthest distance?
Say that again.
What is Caleb Sturgis from the furthest distance?
Check.
3rd and 4. Now Ed's going to run a play here. 3rd and 4 at the Kansas City 36. Tim Hightower checked. Said, "Oh no, why is Hightower in there?" Well, Hightower did all year long for this club. Oh. Linebacker to Hightower. Defense gets his pass. One linebacker there. He needs 4 yards for the first down. Offensive right guard, 7-2. Spencer Long's only a 4. It's a 2-yard game. We have 4th and 2 from the 34. What is it, Dennis?
Sturgis is 2 through 5 from 33 to 37, 2 through 9 and 12 at the next distance.
Go for it. 34?
Yeah, for 33 to 37, he's 2 through 5, 2 through 9 and 12 from 23 to 32.
All right, so I don't want to rely upon the variable. I'm going for it. There you go. Blocking back 1.5 back this time. Carlos Hyde checks in. I think he's not going to get it. Short pass to Steve Smith, incomplete. That's my guess. That's not what happened.
I think he's going to run. What do you think?
I think he's going to throw a short pass or flat pass.
Yeah, flatter run. I think he won't.
I think short pass, because if he gets his pass to get the dump off going, short pass has not been good to him on Cousins' card.
Yeah, Cousins got such a strong flat pass card. It's hard to go away from that.
Well, because he can flood 2/3 of the zone, though, do the old flood and run call. So,
but if he does that, that means he can run without anybody in the zone. That's why I think it's going to be Carlos Hyde.
That's right, Steve Smith. Guess wrong. Linebacker's only a 4. Defender's only a 4. He needs only 2 yards. Receiver wrong, +10, first down for the 49ers. Down at the Kansas City 24.
Shows what I know. Good call, Ed.
Would have been complete guess right. Defense did 2-minute zone. Even that's a receiver, actually. So double teaming Steve Smith would have been the only way to save them. That was unlikely in that situation. 4:48 to go. 1st and 10 for the commissioner at the Kansas City 24. That is so tough to put away.
And he is not thinking field goal. He wants that touchdown.
That is correct. He's
no pressure back on Dan.
He was thinking field goal a minute ago. No longer. We talked about Kirk Cousins fumbling. Watch out for that as a awful end to your season. Emerald right, Carlos Hyde. Defense gets his pass. 8+12 of the defense. Down within striking distance of the goal line. He can smell the end zone. 1st and 10 at the 12. Carlos Hyde.
Time for Dan to break it.
40 yards.
It's time for Dan to break out that blitzing again.
Well, he's showing the safety blitz, as a lot of guys like to do in the red zone. But all the Kirk Cousins flat passing has made it hard. Sacks have not been forthcoming, and Ed does have 7 on the left side. And Ed's been throwing to, the running backs and the second tight ends. Linebacker Carlos Hyde, double box in play. Only one linebacker there. 1st and 10 from the 12. It's a 5.2 snap fumble for Cousins, a 3 for Hyde. There's a double box touchdown. The commissioner goes 80 yards, I believe, with his season on the line, and scores the touchdown. A linebacker for Carlos Hyde with the double box that Dan keeps giving him. It's 25-22. This extra point is big to make it 26-22. Sturgis, I think, is 2-11 or 2-12. It's no good.
Shaq,
the extra point is no good, blocked on a 12. And now the Chiefs can tie the game with a field goal. Oh, my stars and garters.
Caleb sleeps with the Sturgis tonight.
That's right. The kick goes deep in the end zone. Bobby Rainey will probably down that. His best return is only 38 yards, and he does. And Dennis, if Dan can get within field goal range, he has to put a season on the right leg of Brandon McManus, who has not acquitted himself well this evening. Winner makes the semifinal. Loser says, what the blank just happened? 25-22. Go big or go home. Chandrick Weston there. Long gain on a 12. Plus 23 and a 3. Dan has not been shy about throwing a couple of bombs. I'd like to see some flat passing here because Ryder's not that great at it. It won't be a choice. And run right to West. 5+1 is only a 1-yard game, but it does get out of bounds. The linebacker vacated behind. That wonderful +12 with the blocks was a possibility.
McManus is 2 through 6, 11 and 12, out to the 40. What a way to redeem himself if he can send this game to overtime.
Or be hated forever. 2nd and 11 for the Chiefs. They lost a yard. That was a -1. My bad. 3:36 to go.
He's got to get there first, so he needs some first downs.
Yes, I think you're about to see a run here with Hill.
And goes to the 3-3-5, which
is there.
Makes you want to run against that 3-3-5.
Defensive end only. Cameron Hayward, a very solid player, makes the play. 3rd down and 9 for the Chiefs.
Can't catch a break. He wanted to get on his own card there, and he's not been able to do it.
2 guess wrong calls with no men there. One even had the linebacker behind vacated. And the result was a total of 1 yard. Dive 3-2-6. The Junu Kim special. Junu was an excellent coach, too, by the way.
Yeah, absolutely.
Played many years ago. Short pass, Jeremy Hill, covered by a 4. Receiver gets right, incomplete. We try to get away throwing these running backs at times. And sometimes that receiver call can hurt us. 4th and 9. Dan has to, he's punting. Dan's punting. He'll let his defense try and do it for him. Okay. Interesting choice.
I might like that if I didn't have Dan's defense.
The punt goes 48 yards down to Keith Humphrey. Maybe a fumble. Turnabout is fair play. Bobby Rainey fumbled in the first half. Instead, it's a 4-yard return from Mumphrey. And it is 1st and 10 for Ed at his own 37, 2:42 to go. Both coaches have all 3 timeouts.
The only reason why I would have gone for it, number one, well, that's such a tough offense to stop from getting 1 first down. You need to be perfect on these 3 calls.
2 tight to 2 wide. Remember those flat pass double teams. Left tackle left to Carlos Hyde. Defense close pass. 1 linebacker there. 2:42 to go in the game. 4 is a 7-yard gain for Hyde. Might not call timeout here. I think you'll let this run because it's not going to really affect you either way. He lets it run. 2:06 to go. The clock will stop after this play, but he's got to stop Ed from getting a first down as it's 2nd and 3. Will Ed be a little gun shy by throwing a flat pass after he's thrown 2 flat pass interceptions on double teams, or if you throw it into a man with 2 zone, that could happen. But he threw the flat pass on 4th and 2 when he needed it just a few minutes ago. If that can right to Carlos Hyde, run key, but not taking effect. 1 linebacker in zone. Linebacker zone -1 or +4. And as Ray Mamaluga is only a 4, white die 6, could not make the play. It's a 4-yard gain and a first down at the 2-minute warning. Ed's at his own 48. Now Dan has to get the stop. Cannot allow another first down or the season will be over.
Yeah, got to be perfect on these next 3 calls.
Or lucky.
That too.
I'd probably take lucky. You always take lucky if you know you can get it. But you can,
if he can get it,
you know you
if he can catch him with a 2 men in a flat zone and get another pick, that would be huge.
Blocking back 1.5 back for Ed. One tackle left to Hyde. There's a linebacker there. Dan did flood 1 flat. No gain, guess right on the 7.
1 down, 2 to go.
Calls his first time out. 1:52 to go. Even if Ed has to punt it, it'll probably be Kansas City starting out inside their own 20. About 90 seconds left and no timeouts. Maybe we'll see Aaron Rodgers Hail Mary, just like in the NFL this season, Dennis. 2 or 3 of those we saw.
He's got to stop Ed here, though.
2nd down and 10. How about a short pass? That is Brandon Whedon style. Probably not against that good pass defense. And run right to Carlos Hyde. Defense against his run. The defensive end's only a 4. He floods 2 flats. Defensive end +2 or +7, but the 4 makes the play. Greg Hardy, such a man of great character.
He used one of his MMA moves there to bring down the ball carrier, and the refs didn't see it.
He has no more NFL moves, thankfully. 3rd and 8. He's been pretty much banished for his despicable behavior. 3rd and 8 for the Chiefs at midfield exactly. 1:45 to go. Now, what do you do if you're Ed here, Dennis?
You run. You go up the middle and try to catch him with one of those.
Catch a break and keep it safe, huh? Well, you're the king of breaking containment and running those 3rd and long draws. Now, Carlos Hyde is tired. I don't think I would want to keep him in the game in such a situation.
Bilal Powell's going, what do I have to do to get in this game?
I better work on my card for next year, make it better. Boy, so Ed, I don't know what the rest of the team looks like, but Ed's going to have Kirk Cousins and Bilal Powell to start. And Hyde's probably pretty decent. 3rd and 8 from the 50. 1:45 to go. Ed goes blocking back 1, half back where Carlos Hyde is fatigued. Left tackle left to Hyde. Only 1 linebacker behind. I think he's a 4 against the run. So white die 3.
No containment here.
No tackle 0 +3. It's a 3-yard gain. And with Kawan Short making the tackle. But did not make the well. Anyway, it's a 3-yard.
Does Bosher have a block?
Bosher has a block on 12. 4th and 5. The punt is a coffin corner, and it does get out of bounds about the 11-yard line. And that's where Dan's going to take over. 1st and 10 from his own 11. 90 seconds left, no timeouts. Needs a field goal to tie this game up. Has to get to where, Dennis? The 40-yard line?
Yeah, 40-yard line to get 2 through 6, 11, and 12.
That's 50-50. So he needs 49 yards. 39 and 10.
Dump-off's in play.
Until what, 30 seconds?
Yes. So, this is if you want one of those long gain dump-offs, this is a great time to have it. So that's what Dan's on
someone won't be double-teamed like Anquan Bolden. Dime 3-2-6. Always scared to run here, and the guy, you get like no yards, and the guy doesn't get out of bounds. At least if you throw it, the incomplete pass stops the clock. Well, you could get a lousy dump off like -1, but I think he might do an end run here.
Yeah, he might go in run and just try to get out of bounds. You do that a couple times to see if you can move it up close to midfield.
At the 4 might be tricky. Flat pass to Jeremy Hill. And we're right, Jeremy Hill. See, there's a linebacker in there.
Finally he hits it.
Yards, and does he get out of bounds? Looks like he doesn't. But he's moved the ball up to the 27. That's 16 of the 49 needed, a third of the way there. 33 more yards to go.
Yeah, it's sneaky thing with the Strat.
No one's leaving this game, Dennis. The ratings are strong.
A sneaky thing with the out of bounds rule is you're out of bounds on even numbers of the white die. So 2, 4, and 6, which means if you land on the offensive cards, you only have a 1/3 chance of getting out of bounds, where you have a 2/3 chance on the D cards.
I did not know that. Two tight ends, 2 wide, 1 running back. Dime 3-2-6. 107 to go. You can still throw a flat pass. Short pass, Larry Donald. 2 blitzes on. Donald uncovered. Defender extra short gain. It's 14 yards and a first down. Up at the 14. San Francisco really could have used a defender to help with that play. That's what Strat is telling me here in the box, Dennis.
Yep, and then again, you saw the white die 5. So he had 2/3 chance of getting out of bounds, but because it was a 5, he did not get out of bounds. It had to be a 4 or 6.
White die 5 would have beaten the right outside linebacker Melvin Ingram anyway. 45 seconds left. Dan's only 19 yards away from a 50-50 chance to tie the game. I'd love to see a flat pass at the 4 at Melvin Ingram.
McManus.
Only this 19 yards. There's no timeouts. 45 seconds. What a crazy spot this is. And what a great game. Emmer left to Jeremy Hill. This time there's no linebackers there. Offensive onside M +2 or -1. White die 5 does not get out of bounds, and he loses a yard.
Again, the 5. The 5s are killing him.
2nd and 11. And hurry up offense will get into 22 seconds, I guess.
If you spike it here, you lose contain if you wanted to end run again. So he's going to hurry up. End run's in play.
And now I think you have to throw it, Dennis. What do you think?
Yeah, you know, I was even thinking on the last play, you risk a look in because you would have been able to spike it if you got a first down. That would have been a 23 or a 16-yard gain.
16-yard gain. I was going to ask you that a few seconds ago if you would risk a look in. Short pass, Larry Donald, uncovered again. Receiver gets right, incomplete. 3rd and 11, 15 seconds left, no timeouts. He needs 19 yards. So you tell me I need 2 short pass completions or a bomb.
You got to get one here so you can spike it if you don't get out of bounds. You need to get a first down here. Otherwise, you're in trouble.
Yes.
You spike it, the game's over. You can't if you don't, unless you get a first down.
He's in trouble anyway. But yes, but absolutely.
I still don't. I don't think
you can't spike it. You can't spike it because you turn the ball over and downs.
Right, exactly.
The worst thing that can happen is you get a completion for 10 yards.
Yes. Or must run for 10 yards.
Yes. 3 wide, 1 halfback.
Ed will cover double team 2 men here to put the get rid of the must
Anquan Bolden, 2 men in zone. He needs Aaron Rodgers caught. He's a 4, intercepted 2-6, incomplete. And 4th and 11 with only 8 seconds left and no timeouts. Now, so any kind of long pass completion, if the guy goes out of bounds, you'll be able to line up for the field goal.
Yeah, he's got to get out of bounds.
Now, does a long pass get out of bounds just as often as a short pass? It's still the same rule?
It's the same rule. So if it goes on the, it has to be an even number. Yeah. So it goes a 2 on Rodgers' card. If you're rolling Rodgers' card, it has to be a 2 to have a chance to get out of bounds. Otherwise, the game's over. If you're rolling the D cards,
they should randomize that.
I agree.
Or do like a separate white die roll for that.
Exactly.
4th down, 11, season on the line. Aaron Rodgers hit the Hail Marys of the NFL, Dennis. Can he do it in the Strat?
I am almost of the mind to throw a flat and hope to get on the D card for one of those big numbers, because then you have twice as much chance to get out of bounds.
But it's going to be guessed right if he blitzes these guys. And not only that, you can still get a completion of your card for like 8 or 9 yards, and the game's over.
Yeah, the game's over anyway. This is let's face it. You're going to need a miracle.
Oh, yeah, because the game's over. One pass, Randall caught being double teamed, picked off, or intentionally knocked to the ground. San Francisco can make an interception, but it's 4th down.
All right, I'm going to go.
And
congratulations to Ed. Nice
Brandon
job.
Merriweather knocked the ball down rather than took it. The game is over. What a game. 25-22, barring a Herm Edwards play. Quarterback takes a knee. There it is. 25-22. Tremendous game. A heartbreaking loss for the Chiefs. Ed built a 19-7 lead. Dan missed 2 field goals in the first half, 2-10 and 2-7 and 12. Then he fumbled a punt inside his own 20. But he hung tough on defense, was giving up field goals and not touchdowns. Got on the board himself for the touchdown somewhere in the second half of the second quarter, I believe, to make it 19-7. But then Ed kept plugging away. And it was 13-7 at the half. Ed kept plugging away in the second half. The field goals went up 19-7. But then Dan came roaring back. And scored 2 touchdowns in the fourth quarter to take a 22-19 lead with only 3 minutes left. And then, I mean, 3:54 to go. No, 9:54 to go. That's right. I'm all over the place here. My bad. Got 2 touchdowns early in the fourth quarter. After getting a flat pass interception, he forced 2 of those with correct double teams of Delaney Walker with the safety, Corey Graham. And Dan went up 22-19. But Ed comes back with a lengthy drive, converting a 4th and 2 from the Kansas City 3rd and 4 and a flat pass wrong. And then hitting a double box on Carlos Hyde and a linebacker 8 to get 19 yards. It was a 12-yard touchdown. And then the extra point was blocked. I forgot about that. It would have been 26-22, but the extra point was blocked to make it 25-22. And then Dan needed a field goal, got a couple of first downs, but had no timeouts and couldn't keep it going. Stopped about 19 yards short of it. And Ed wins a playoff game, 25-22. A tremendous game. One of the best playoff games we've called since we've been doing this about 18 months ago. Congratulations to both guys on a great game. Very hard fought, very well coached. Really nothing stupid going on out there. Either guy could have won. They got some real bad breaks early, and they were too much to overcome. And Ed coached well as always. And Ed's on to the semifinals. And if you didn't listen to it, there was a game this morning between Seattle and Chicago. That was a very good game as well. So I won't tell you who won that one. But the winner of that game is in the Final Four. NFL Ed's in the Final Four. The winner of Washington, New Orleans, I'm gonna hang up here and watch the end of that one. I watched the first half. Is in the Final Four the next week. And they're all waiting to see if Big Bad Jay Villing is going to be there. Jacksonville Jay, back-to-back SSFA champion and defending SOMIFA champion. Or Carl, I should say, reigning SOMIFA champion. Will he make it? He's got to play Nathan Baylor next week. There's some travel issues, but I think the ratings will be high for that one. SSFA postseason is always real good. A lot of good coaches in this league. A lot of competitiveness. Usually not one dominant team, despite Jay's 14-2 record. So I look forward to that one, and I look forward, and I'm really Really a great day. Three SSFA playoff games, and so far they all look pretty good. I got to check out the second half of Washington, New Orleans. So, all right, guys, I'm going to sign off now. Thanks for listening. I can see that you're riveted. There's quite a few guys here, and we'll see what happens. More SSFA playoffs to come, and of course, Samsa deep into their postseason as well. Adios.